If you ever filmed an interview and didn't realize that you didn't have any scratch audio or anything going into the camera until post-production, then go ahead and hit that like button. What's going on, everyone? Today, we're going to be taking a look at an exciting new product from Deity called the TC-1. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to assume that you know a little bit about timecode, but real quick, timecode is basically an internal clock, and a lot of cameras don't have them accurately in camera. Sometimes they drift. So you use little timecode generators like this that have one job and one job only, and that's to send timecode. And that basically makes your editor's life, or your life if you're editing, so much easier, because then you can sync them all instantly based on the timecode instead of that. Lots of benefits. I've got a video with Shutterstock tutorials that should either be out or out very soon. I'll leave a link to it in the comments and in the description on basically how to use timecode. And I'm going to go over all the, using the boxes, getting them set up, and putting them into camera, bringing it into post-production, and all that kind of good stuff. So be on the lookout for that. But for this video, I'm going to assume that you know a little bit about timecode. So, in this video, I just want to kind of, unbox this, show you what comes in the kit, and then, and then just kind of show you the app and do a little bit of exploring and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So it comes in this really nice box. Actually, it's really nice packaging. Has this little sleeve here, so that's really fun, and it's kind of got this like magnetic locking, closing. That's kind of cool. So we've got this little box here, just got some goodies in here, and then we have 3 timecode units right here. Let's talk about what is in this little box of goodies. All right, so we got these little loop stickies right here. And then we have, this is, I don't know why this is like the most exciting thing for me, like in this whole contents right here, but this is so genius. This is a USB type A to 3 times USB type C cable. And why is that so useful? Well, this is how you charge your devices, because they all have type C connections here, and you can charge all of them at the same time using one outlet, which is awesome. Well, I guess one adapter, but you see what I'm saying. And if you only have a type C charger, then you can use the included type C to type A adapter, and then boom, and then you can charge them all at once, and it's just incredible. Good on you, Deity, because that's amazing. And then you have these 3.5 mil to various connections right here. So the first one we have is 3.5 mil. Each of these have a locking 3.5 mil connection, which goes to the unit itself. And then on this side, you have, this is a 3.5 mil connection here. So same size, same connector on either end, just one is locking. This is how you connect to like all of your mirrorless cameras, where you're gonna run your timecode signal into your microphone input. So that's how you're gonna get your feed into there. So you got that. And then, like for me, I have the Sound Devices Mix Pre 3.2, and I can actually send timecode in to the auxiliary port, which is also a 3.5 millimeter input. So really handy that it has that. Then you have this. So more like professional cinema cameras typically have a dedicated timecode input, and some have timecode output, and that's typically using a BNC connection. So it's kind of like the same connection as SDI. So this is the BNC connection. So you got your locking 3.5 mil to BNC, and then you could send your timecode into there. And these are cameras like the C300, C500, C700, the Ursa Mini Pros, the FX6, those kind of cameras, and there's plenty more. But so you got that, and usually there's like identified, it says timecode, and that's what that is, and it looks like an SDI port. And then other devices, other cameras and stuff have a 5-pin connection, so that's how you send timecode into that. Again, you have the locking connection here. So that's what comes in the kit, and now let's just take a look at the physical design of the TC-1. So we have got a locking connection here, so as I was talking about earlier, you have this locking connection here, which is really nice because it prevents this from getting pulled out, which is really nice. On the front, you have a microphone, so that's really nice. You get a little reference track, so when you send this into, say, a mirrorless camera, I think a lot of users out there watching this probably have a mirrorless camera that they want to use timecode with, which you can, and it's awesome. When you send the signal out through this and you send it into the microphone input on your mirrorless camera, on channel 1 you get a timecode signal which sounds like this, and then in your second channel you have just a reference track, so you can kind of hear the audio. And it's kind of nice because some cameras, for whatever reason, or maybe it's a wireless pack latency thing or whatever the case may be, sometimes it, even if you align it on timecode, it might be off by a frame, you know, one way or the other, and that is not specific to this timecode device. Same thing with my Tentacle Syncs, just some cameras are off by like a frame. So having that reference track is really helpful to kind of just be able to bump it left or right. So yeah, really helpful there to have that reference track. Now on the corner here, you have this little scroll wheel right here. And this is how you navigate through your menu systems and all that kind of stuff. And then on the center, like right on the corner, you can actually press it in. That's how you select a menu item. So you got that going on. And then here you have this yellow button, and that serves 3 purposes. It's a power button, so you hold it for 3 seconds to turn it on. If you are in a menu item, so let's go navigate to the frame rates here, so you can see the scroll wheel is doing this. And then if I wanted to back out, instead of selecting anything, if I wanted to back out to the menu beforehand, you hit the power button just once and that brings you out. And then if you want to lock your screen, 1, 2, 3, you hit that 3 times and it locks the screen. Or if the screen just kind of goes to sleep, it'll automatically lock. And if you want to unlock it, you hit that again 3 times and then you can navigate through your menus and all that kind of stuff. And it's really nice that it does automatically lock, so that when you are operating a camera, you don't actually accidentally bump something and you know, mess up your time code or whatever the case may be. Now on the bottom here we have a USB Type-C input here as to how you charge a device, which is really cool. It's got a built-in lithium polymer battery, so it lasts really long. It's like 31 or 2 hours or something crazy. And so yeah, great battery life. And then you have this right here. So this is a cold shoe adapter that is you can attach through the kind of incorporated hook and loop attachment right here, so that if you wanted to use the hook and loop on your device, maybe it's a camera where you don't have cold shoe, or maybe you're renting a camera that already has some hook and loop already on it from other timecode devices, you can just use that. But it is really cool that it comes with this little cold shoe adapter, because that's kind of how I like to run it on like mirrorless cameras and stuff, just because, you know, I'm recording audio separately. All I care about is the timecode, so that's pretty much all I'll have on the mirrorless camera. So it's really nice that it actually comes with that. And then finally, I forgot to mention the most important thing are the stickers. This is really important. I can't believe I actually forgot to mention this, but it does come with stickers. But all kidding aside, it comes with a couple QR codes, one for your manual and one to download the app. Now, speaking of the app, you have the Sidus Audio app, which is awesome, and it's a really powerful app and makes the usability these kind of enhanced. But the cool thing is you don't actually need the app to control these, which is also awesome. But this helps you, like, you know, sync them all to like time of day from your phone, which is really cool, which is in and of itself an accurate clock. So when you're greeted first, you're not going to have any of this. I've already synced these up. If you don't know how to do that, it's really easy. All you do is you go to the Bluetooth menu item right here. You use the scroll wheel to navigate to Bluetooth menu item. Then you make sure it's on. You click reset and then click yes. And then once that is all done, then you just click this plus icon and you'll see the devices that are in pairing mode. And then you set them up and then you're ready to go. And then you can also see that they're all named something differently. They're all going to be named the same thing right out of the box, but you can rename them just as easily to whatever you want. I just named them TC-1, TC-2, and TC-3 box. And then all you do, if you want to sync them all together, you can click sync all, and then you can actually click this little clock right there and then hit sync, and then it syncs them all together at the same time, and they're basically all aligned. So if you can see here, now it all has the same time code generated right there, and it was just as easy as that. And then you can go off to your devices, plug them in, and start syncing up your time code. Additionally, if you want to change all of your frame rates, you got to make sure, this is really important, make sure all your frame rates are set up the same on your cameras and your time code devices, otherwise it's just not going to work. So if you want to do that, you can go into your workstation right here and click your settings here for all of them, and then say if you wanted to go to 25 frames per second, you could do that. What you're going to notice is the first one for some reason gets set up, and I think that's because it's in master mode, but you can see this little sync button is flashing. All you do is click sync, and then it'll sync all the settings there, and you'll see when I hit OK, now it says 25, 25, 25. Just right there. So we're all set up there. I'm going to change it back to 2398 before I forget. And then you can also change your settings on how it's basically set up if you want to do like the format of years, months, dates, seconds, which is how I prefer to do it. So you could do that, and then if you click this little calendar icon, it'll actually sync to the actual date, which is really cool. And then again, I'm just going to hit sync real quick so that they're all synced up. And that is that. So that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about of these TC units. They're really great units. In fact, I actually had planned to do an overview of these units in this video and compare it to the Tentacle Sync E, but that's just going to be way too long of a video. So I'm just going to break it up into 2 videos. So be on the lookout for that video when I compare these 2 units and just kind of give my thoughts and kind of what I would recommend between the 2 kits. So be on the lookout for that. If I left anything out, definitely let me know in the comments, but I think these are the great little units, and I think the only thing that you would maybe want to pick up in addition is maybe 2 more of these things, and it'd be kind of cool. I wish they would have just given you 3 of these cables, because they are really affordable, and I think a lot of people are going to be using multiple mirrorless systems. So I'm glad they included the other connections here, but if they would have had just 2 more of these little 3.5 to 3.5 cables, that'd have been awesome. But they are really affordable, so I wouldn't really get all that bent out of shape. That's not something that's a deal breaker to me. So and you don't even have to get the Deity one unless you just care about the yellow cable. So that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed watching this, found something useful. I know time code is a not the most exciting topic in the world, but be as it may, it's very important to have on set. So hope you found it helpful, useful, all that good stuff, like I've already said a billion times. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.